images and objects ever since I could hold a crayon in my hand. Many of my school projects growing up were saved by the artwork I created to accompany the assignment for grade. When I was in university, I took an art appreciation lab, and in that lab we were exposed to a variety of mediums. I got hooked on the color that oils offered, and after university I painted a variety of subjects. In the 90s, I saw a flower in the newspaper article that captured my attention. I've been painting flowers ever since. I was afraid of watercolors, so I took a diploma program from the Royal Botanic Gardens in Edinburgh to learn how to paint with watercolors. So now I feel very comfortable painting in watercolor. Flowers have symbolic meanings in many cultures. My focus as an artist has been to capture the interaction of light and shadow on the flowers. I find it fascinating to see the light reflect off the surface of one petal, and yet on an adjacent petal, the light shines through the petals. Light and how it interacts with the flowers is the key feeling that I try and capture in my paintings. Light and how it interacts with flowers is the key feeling that I try and capture in my paintings. My paintings that capture the light of this world feel very spiritual to me. I hope the viewers of my art can feel the same impact of these delicate temporal creatures that remind us of our own temporal nature. Flower and floral paintings have been the subject of many masters, including the Dutch, French Impressionists, Van Gogh, George O'Keeffe, and botanical artists like Franz Bauer and many other botanical artists. Flowers have a really universal appeal, and yet the diversity of styles are unique to all the different artists. I began creating floral paintings in oil and recently learned how to paint floral paintings in watercolor. I believe my creations are unique in the way that they are realistic and focus primarily on the flowers themselves. And then occasionally I do depart from painting flowers to paint other colorful subjects. Has had the most impact on this particular body of work created during this time, and why? Before painting flowers, I painted airplanes and fighter pilots. I had seen the French Impressionist paintings and the George O'Keeffe paintings of flowers, but I have to say the flowers themselves are what influenced my current body of work the most. I love the explosion of colors, that the flowers offer me as an artist. And each flower is a new study in color and light and shadow. So it's wonderful. My creative process begins with seeing. If I see a pop of color in nature, it stops me in my tracks and I take a look. Mother Nature's crafted flowers with different shapes and colors to attract all sorts of different creatures. They all serve a purpose in Mother Nature. For me, the light, color, and shadow that captures the event in time is what inspires me. Then my job as an artist is to take that inspiration and manifest it through composition, hue, value, and bring that flower to life. I frequently visit botanical gardens to get inspiration, but when I'm painting, I'm lost in the colors. I don't think about the painting or the object. I just get absorbed by the paint. I want viewers of my art to feel immersed in the color and subtle textures of the flowers. Basically give them a honeybee's point of view. And I want them to be filled with the awe and beauty of these colorful objects called flowers. Do you create for a specific audience? This is going to sound selfish, but I paint for me. Each painting is a learning experience in a particular color and shape, presenting me with each challenge. And when I'm in the zone painting and the world just disappears for me and the colors fill my mind and my imagination, it's wonderful. I like working in oil on canvas and watercolor on paper. I prefer hot press paper for my watercolors since a hot press paper allows me to maintain control of the pigments as they're applied to the paper in thin washes. When I paint in oil, I like to go large, so the flowers are much larger than real life. And when I paint in oil, it's like painting with butter. It's great. Expert Studio Tour here in Uxbridge, Ontario, and I open my studio annually to the general public. In addition, I participate in art shows and curated exhibitions across North America, and although I'm not right now, but I have done many art festivals across North America too. And I love talking to people in public, and I love working with my students in my studio. Okay. And during the art shows and exhibitions, I typically paint and answer any questions that people might have about what I'm working on at that particular point in time, be it oil or watercolor. without a doubt, has had the most impact on my career as an artist. My mom took me to art museums as a child and always made sure I had art supplies to work with growing up, mainly paper, crayons, and clay. My mom also taught me the names of the birds and helped me develop a love for Mother Nature. My mom has given me back many of my drawings that I did growing up, and they always remind me of how much she supported my artistic career. Currently, I'm working on a series of botanically accurate wildflowers from Georgian Bay in watercolor. Georgian Bay is a place where my soul soars when I see the raw beauty of Mother Nature. I suppose the Canadian group of 7 felt the same way when they took macro view of the wild Canada. I take a more micro view by focusing on flowers, similar to Georgia O'Keeffe. When a flower speaks to me, they inspire me to paint them. I'm so lucky. There is an unlimited supply of inspiring flowers. But I must say, when I see a colorful object, be it a sunset or a flower, I am inspired by the color. Jr. said, "The arts are not a way to make a living. They are a very human way of making life more bearable. Practicing an art, no matter how well or badly, is a way to make your soul grow. I can say that I paint for me so that my soul grows." So I encourage everyone to put pencil to paper, color on canvas, so you too can help your soul grow. So go out there and paint. Great.